Brainiac, Darkseid, who will Superman and Lex Luthor team up against in James Gunn's Man of Tomorrow? Hey everyone, welcome to Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com. My name is Steve Eunice. In this our September 15th, 2025 show, we're going to be discussing the possible villains for the upcoming Man of Tomorrow movie. We're going to get into all that and much more. And we're going to also turn to you to take your questions and comments on any particular Superman topic you would like to discuss. But before we get into any of that, let me introduce you to my co-hosts, Michael Bailey, there he is on this side, and Mark Lax. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
How are we both? Mark,
I'm on
welcome
a
back.
delay.
Yeah,
Thank
Michael
you.
will get you. We'll catch up. It will catch up. Don't worry. But Mark, how are you feeling this week? You good?
I'm feeling better. Got a little cold. But I'm feeling a little better.
It's a shame. I hope you get better soon. And Michael, you've totally recovered from your Dragon Con hangover? A bit of a delay there.
Yeah, pretty much. Little dealing with allergies tonight, but what is new? I'm always like stuffed up right in time for the show, so I always sound like I need to blow my nose.
Well, the two of you can be all stuffed up today and sympathise with each other as you're dealing with your health issues. Oh, sadly, Michael has dropped out. He's got a few internet issues lagging tonight, and the connection seems to drop out. So hopefully, Michael will clear that up and jump back on. But as I mentioned, we're happy to take your questions and comments. Happy to have you live with us tonight. We want to thank our sponsors and patrons: Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, Tina Murray, Rick Schutzow, and Jamie Klingensmith. Thank you so much for your financial support, keeping this show free for everyone. We really appreciate your help at the Superman homepage. And if you're listening or watching the show and you would like to join those fine folks and have your name read out at the beginning and end of every show, then you can too become a Superman homepage champion. All you have to do is go to patreon.com/Superman homepage, and you can have your name or business read out at the beginning of each and every show. Now, we will have time tonight to take live callers, and since Michael has jumped out at the moment, let me give you the down low on how you go about doing that as I add myself to the right-hand side and remove the... There we go. So tonight, if you want to jump on and have a chat to us tonight, then all you have to do is go to supermanhomepage.com/live, where you two can, where you can go into the green room. You'll be able to chat with us and have your say, get on the phone. If you are going to call up, you can either use the QR code as well. So that's an opportunity there for you to use the QR code on your smartphone. But if you are going to be a live caller tonight, we'll probably take calls at the second half hour of tonight's show. Then please use a headset, because if you use your external speaker, there's a bit of delay and that kind of causes a bit of feedback there. So headsets are mandatory if you're going to get on and talk to us tonight. But if you're a little bit shy and don't want to get on the phone tonight, then feel free to participate in the comments, both there on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, where the three of us can see what you're saying, react to any comments or questions you might have, and you can get involved in the show that way. So, two ways that you can get involved in tonight's show. We love having our live viewers, listeners with us tonight. It doesn't matter what platform you're on. Thank you so much for joining us for this next hour of Superman Chit Chat. Well, let's get into tonight's topics, and let's get into the... Look, Michael and I have had an ongoing joke for years now that every time a show is over, like 5 minutes after the show is done, some big news will drop. And it's no different this week. We got the big news that James Gunn is going to have the next Superman movie titled Man of Tomorrow, and it's going to have Superman and Lex Luthor teaming up in some capacity against a bigger threat. James Gunn revealed this on the Howard Stern show. Listen to a little bit of that conversation.
the next villain in the next Superman movie?
We released the fact that we're coming out with Man of Tomorrow. It's going to be out in 2 years in theaters in July 9th, 2027, which is relatively a short time between sequels because we knew immediately where we were going. And it is a story about Lex Luthor and Superman having to work together to a certain degree against a much, much bigger threat. And it's more complicated than that. It's as much a Lex movie as it is a Superman movie. I relate to the character of Lex Luthor, sadly.
I do relate.
So there you have it. James Gunn saying that it will mostly be about Superman and Lex Luthor teaming up or working together against a massive threat that endangers them both. A much, much bigger threat. So since Michael's having some issues, Mark, I'll give you first jump at this. The much, much bigger threat. What are you thinking? Where are you leaning towards when you think about a much, much bigger threat?
Well, the first thing that came to mind would be Darkseid. But I think Darkseid, I don't know how quickly they bring him in because of the Zack Snyder. Who knows? I mean, this is their own thing. Either that or Brainiac. I mean, we'd love to see on the big screen, a good version of Brainiac. I mean, I know though I didn't really watch much of the Krypton show. I know they did a really good version over there, which is going to be going to make you wonder how are they going to work in this new type of Brainiac if in fact Brainiac is the villain. How are they going to design him? I remember the designs and all that they talked about with for Superman, the Tim Burton.
Superman Lives or Flyby, or whatever that one was.
Yeah, no, whatever. But so and Krypton did a more Jeff Johns accurate version of Brainiac. So how Brainiac will look, I don't know. And of course, we don't know if it's Brainiac. It may not be Brainiac. It may not be Darkseid. It might be, I don't know, maybe Galactus is going to cross over. I don't know, from the Marvel Universe. I have no idea. But it's going to be, it's going to be a big threat if that makes the two of them team up. I'm never a big fan of them teaming up. Especially after the first movie, you would say, why would these two guys? But obviously, it'll be reluctantly, and obviously, it'll be to save the Earth because even Lex Luthor has plans for Earth, and he doesn't want to see it destroyed. So, I understand that.
Michael, hopefully you're not lagging too far behind that you can have your say. Who would you like to see the big bad be? The big threat, much bigger threat.
I think Brainiac's the better choice. What's going on with my internet tonight? Well, it's not my internet. My internet's fine. Everything else in my house is working just fine. I don't know what is going on here. So if I freeze again, I may have to dip out. But to answer your question, now that I seem to be speaking, Brainiac's fine. I'm a little, I don't want to say annoyed. Annoyed's the wrong word to use. I don't like the idea of Superman and Lex teaming up right away. And that is a completely me problem. That is me, the comics, whether it's like the Last Son storyline where they have to reluctantly team up, or the team up, or the Rebirth era where they're teaming up. It's just like I just think it's too early to pull the trigger on that in the movies. But Gunn has his plans, so
yeah,
I don't know.
It's an interesting
I
one.
don't want Darkseid. In all honesty.
No, I don't think Darkseid will be the way they'll go because we've kind of already touched on that in the Zack Snyder films, and I don't think that they'll go there again. Brainiac seems to be the one that most fans are leaning towards because we haven't seen Brainiac in a live-action big movie, and there would be some sense in that because if with Brainiac being the super genius that he is, Superman might need someone like Lex Luthor to be able to help in that way because of the intellect side of things. So that might be an interesting angle they take. Somebody in the comments suggested Mongol, Mind the Gap. Mongol was another choice. That could be interesting, a war world type of thing. But they could go many different ways. Cyborg, Superman, Ultraman coming back. We don't know where they'll go, but a bigger threat, a much, much bigger threat, as James Gunn is quoted as saying in that interview, would lean me towards thinking Brainiac or Mongol or something like that, an intergalactic type of threat. But Brainiac seems to be the most likely. But I guess we'll have to see. Someone also in the comments, Mind the Gap again, said it would be fun if it was Mixes-Pitalik. That would be an interesting selection of villain. I would be on board, as everybody knows, but I don't see that needing Lex Luthor's help with Mr. Mixes-Pitalik. That seems to be more of a Superman issue. Kara73 is saying, what was that orb thing in the back of the movie when he said it was an interdimensional being? My mind automatically went to Mixes-Pitalik, and that's a fun nod if that was the case, but we just don't know beyond that it was an interdimensional being that the Justice Gang were fighting against, and they had it under control. So thoughts on any of those ideas, guys? I'll go with you, Michael, first.
Mongol's too close to Darkseid. I mean, he's kind of. I heard somebody once somebody here describe him as, if you can't get Darkseid, you get Mongol. I'm going to go for a really out of the box thinking, Imperiex. I think that maybe the world is ready for that. But no, I just it all depends on what the story is, really, right? I mean, that's the big deal. The villain. I don't think the villain should dictate the story. I think the story should dictate the villain, if that makes any sense. Like they've got an idea for this movie. I don't want to. So I think Brainiac's our only real choice, isn't it?
Seems likely, Mark.
Yeah. I mean, like Mike said, Mongol is like a mini Darkseid. If you're not, it's not a good choice to do Darkseid. Why do Mongol? Unless you're really going to lean into War World. Even so, it's Mixes-Pitalik. I don't think you need a lot of geniuses to take care of him. It might be fun. He might could be a big threat, but I don't think you need a bunch of geniuses to take care of Mixes-Pitalik. I don't know. I mean, Imperiex would be a real deep. It would be a deep cut for general fans, I think. Because
what do we think of the idea of Lobo? What do you think? What do you think of the idea of Lobo, since he's going to be in the Supergirl movie and you've cast Jason Momoa and you're only supposedly using him for a minimal amount in the Supergirl movie? You don't he's not going to be the main villain in that. It's creme, but any thoughts on that?
I'm not a fan of Lobo.
I don't know.
So
no, neither am I, and I don't think.
To ask about that.
I mean, as big a threat as he could be, I don't think he's going to be that big that Superman and Lex have to team up to, I mean, Superman and the Justice Gang could probably in the end take him down, I would think. I mean, I know he's supposedly destroyed his own world and all that, but.
Yeah. Kara73 saying she's still convinced Brainiac messed with the second half of the Kryptonian message from Jor-El and Lara. Well, we know that's not the fact. I know fans would be liking that to be the case because they want to redeem Jor-El and Lara from that. But James Gunn has come out and emphatically said, no, it is real, it is authentic, and it makes it more important that Superman chooses Jonathan and Martha Kent's or Mara and Pa Kent's teachings over what he was programmed or what they sent him there to actually do. So some other ideas coming out. Mind the Gap saying it won't be Massacre. That's another deep cut for comic book fans. John Patrick Van Pelt asking, what about Bibbo? Will Bibbo show up in the next movie? Anything is possible, especially with James Gunn. I know Michael would be there front and foremost if they were going to do any casting choices for Bibbo. He would be happy to jump in and lend his hefty acting skills to the film.
I don't know about that. I think they got better. I would be pulling for Michael Rooker to play Bibbo if I was going to say anybody. I think he could pull that role off very, very well.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Celeste saying, is John Cena's Peacemaker going to have a role in Man of Tomorrow? We don't know. It's always possible. James Gunn loves reusing actors in multiple projects. And so, Peacemaker, I mean, he already had a cameo appearance in Superman. So whether or not he would show up again in Man of Tomorrow remains to be seen. But Kara73 asking, who's Bibbo? I haven't heard of that one. Bibbo is obviously the... Go, Michael, please fill us in on who Bibbo is. What?
So during the Triangle era, during the post-crisis and Triangle era, they introduced a character named Bibbo, who was a former longshoreman and former boxer who started out as kind of just a guy that Superman would get information from at the docks, essentially. But he turned into this really sweet guy, like this hard-nosed, hard-edged, former boxer who eventually wins the lottery and buys the bar that he goes to. He was created by Jerry Ordway and based very much on somebody from Jerry Ordway's youth. And he's us. He's a fan of Superman. Superman is his favorite. FAV apostrophe RIT. So he's just an amazing character. Yes. Yeah, he's kind of like Popeye a little bit. Yeah, Mind the Gap's right on that.
Yes, a little bit on a bigger scale. So yes, not a villain. We just need to clear that up. But we're just people are asking about characters who could appear in the upcoming movie, and Bibbo is one of those ones that fans would love to see. We saw a kind of version of that in Superman Returns when Jack Larson turned up as Bo, the bartender, and so that was kind of like a nod to Bibbo in those films. Or that film. All right, so we don't know who will be the big bad guy of the upcoming Man of Tomorrow film. We do know it is going to be released July 2027. In the meantime, we will be covering all the different details that come across from that. But we've got the Supergirl movie in 2026 to look forward to first and foremost. So, there is plenty to look forward to in the near future. John Patrick Van Pelt saying Parasite would be an interesting villain as well, and that's always a possibility. But again, I don't think it would require Lex Luthor's involvement as a much, much bigger threat. Parasite is someone that Superman can definitely handle on his own. I see this much, much bigger threat that James Gunn is alluding to as being a formidable foe of an intergalactic type of menace like Brainiac. So that would be where I would be leaning. And again, we wait and see. We're all just speculating at this point in time. All right, so let's move on. Still on the topic of Superman, the movies, in the movie side of things, we got some concept images, some concept art from artist Victor Martinez, who shared some images of the Metropolis rescue sequence where Superman saved a woman who was in her car from getting squashed by a toppling building. And we see some great imagery from Victor Martinez, who helped form this sequence. Interesting here that this obviously iconic image of Superman emerging from the dust cloud is not wearing the red trunks here. Obviously, that was still early in the time when they had not decided on using the red trunks. The yellow belt is there, and there are some blue loops that keep the belt. I don't know where it's keeping it to, but interesting that some of the early concept art does not include the red trunks, but definitely great visuals from Victor Martinez.
Yes, not seeing the trunks is interesting. Uh, I clocked that when it came up. I was just like, oh, that's it. That's weird. But then again, it makes sense that this was something that was planned early into production, and then David Cornsweet convinces them that the trunks are the way to go.
Yeah, the I would think at this point. Well, I don't know. Was it David Cornsweet that told? I mean, he did say he thought he wanted the trunks, but did James Gunn want the trunks as well, or?
No, James Gunn apparently was against having the
No,
trunks, and it was David
Oh, okay.
Corenswet who said, the whole idea of Superman wearing this kind of silly outfit kind of grounds him towards something that people can, not think of as a threat because it's so colorful and bright, and so David Corenswet definitely pitched his idea for the use of the trunks and won James Gunn over.
So then it would make sense that this early art would not show the trunks. Either way, it's a beautiful picture.
Yeah, indeed. So great work there by Victor Martinez, and I'm glad he showed and shared that on his Instagram and social media accounts. So really cool to see these behind the scenes concept art and how close the movie came to the finished product of that artwork came to the finished product that was seen in the movie. All right, still on the topic of movies, but looking back to the Christopher Reeve films, Warner Brothers Discovery Home Entertainment has released 2025 editions of the Superman films by Christopher Reeve, starring Christopher Reeve. We'd spoken previously of the Superman 5 film collection, Amazon exclusive, but the other 5 film, the original, like the one that's most people would have had in their collection. Oop, just turned that one off there. Here, the one on the left, the box, and that's the image on the back, shows you. You can see there, it's copyright 2025. So this is corrected editions of the discs that had some audio issues and some visual issues when they were released in 2023, I think it was. So new 2025 editions correct those problems. By all accounts, it's much improved. And if you have the 2023 edition, you can email Warner Brothers and they will send out replacement discs. The only one that's not affected was the Superman 3 disc. That stays as it was. There were no problems with that. But the other discs have corrections, so you can get replacement discs. If you did buy it in 2023, Warner Brothers will send those out to you. And I believe some of them being sent out or have been sent out already. And if you have sent an email but haven't received a response, that doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to receive the discs. They're not necessarily responding to everyone. But if you do send an email and have included all your details, then you will get replacement discs. I'm still waiting for mine. I sent an email a couple of days ago. But there's also just Superman the movie, the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray edition is also come out in a 2025 edition on its own. So if you're just looking for that one alone, you can pick that up from Amazon as well. The links for all these are on our website if you're interested in purchasing them for the first time. But we do have details on sending the emails if you need to get replacement discs. Did either of you buy these originally or are thinking of picking these up, Michael?
I did not buy them when they came out. This is the first time that I have not bought new versions of the movies when they come out in a new format. I am now more likely to, because one of the problems one of the reasons why eventually I decided not to, is that they were messed up. Like Superman 4 had the score from a German cut of the film. And it's just like, what are you doing, Warner Brothers? So now that it's fixed, I'm more likely to, not right away, but down the road, pick up the 4K versions of them, just to have backups to the Blu-rays that I already have.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I'm waiting for my replacements. Mark, do you have I don't even have a one, I don't have a HD TV, a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray yet, or a HD TV,
Yeah.
4K.
Yes,
but,
I don't. Obviously, you didn't buy them. No.
But I'm always future-proofing my collection so that when I do upgrade, I will have them in that format. So, John Patrick Van Pelt asking me to talk about my new book. Here again is the author's copy of it. I have refined it and edited it since receiving this version, but it will go on sale September 30th. It is a chronological journey of James Gunn's Superman film. It is titled Beyond the Cape, and it will be available September 30th on Amazon in both softcover, which is what this one is, and also for the Kindle. I have done a Kindle version, so there is options there. But September 30th, that book Beyond the Cape will go on sale. And I'm also working on a new one, a new book, not about the movie, just about Superman. It's almost like a chronological journey through Superman's universe, looking at all the different birth dates, anniversaries, premiere dates, all those kinds of things, and collating all those things that I've done in a calendar format, like online during our social media posts and things like that. And Michael does them here. And This Week in History, we talk about the birthdays and, when certain comic books came out. So I'm kind of fleshing that out into a book format that will probably be ready for purchase maybe in late November, early December, as a kind of end of year kind of thing, like a calendar for 2026 in a way, but in book format, and discussing all the different anniversaries and dates and birth dates and some of the deaths that we've had in the Superman universe and how they've impacted the character and the universe that he embodies. That one
Sounds good.
That one I'm titling Superman. Sorry, not you, Superman, because I don't want to use the word Superman in the title for obvious reasons. It's going to be titled Man of Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow. So it kind of encompasses that.
Yeah,
yesterday and today will be very small, so that when you see it on the cover,
Eventually,
it will look like Man of Tomorrow.
you're going to have your little library of Superman.
Yeah, eventually that will be nice, because there's so much material that I have collated over the years. Sadly, Michael looks like he's dropped out again. I've collated so much information of Superman over the years that there are kind of books worth of ideas there that I've just not ever, attempted to put together. But now with technology that helps you collate stuff, it's much easier to kind of bring in all this source material and try to put it together in a cohesive, book structured manner. I've got many ideas. Just once you start with one, it's just like ideas start springing up with all the information that we've collected on the Superman homepage for over 30, nearly 30 or over 30 years now. There is, I'm sure that there's a book in there about all the songs that reference Superman or Clark Kent that I'll probably get to in 2026. So just ideas are springing up as I'm starting to kind of get into the whole idea of publishing some books. So keep an eye out on Beyond the Cape, which will be available September 30th through Amazon.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And hopefully there'll be many, many more to come.
See how we go. All right. Yeah. Well, while we wait for Michael to jump back on and hopefully have sorted out some internet issues there, we're going to take a quick break. We're at the halfway mark of tonight's show. So stick around. We'll play some messages. And on the flip side, we're going to do the fan favorite question. We've got a lot of responses to that this week. We've got This Week in History if Michael's internet fixes things up, and much more to talk about on the comic book side of things and collectibles as well in the second half hour of tonight's program. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after these messages.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
If you're enjoying Superman Homepage Live, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, then you can click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. You can also join our YouTube membership program. Just click the join button below. or you can become a patron and support our website by going to patreon.com/Superman homepage.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Bomer. I'm the voice of Superman and Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
SupermanHomepage.com? All right.
Hey, this is Christopher Gorham. You're on the Superman Homepage.
Hey, this is Sam Witwer, and you're watching Superman Homepage.
Hi, Steven. This is Lois Lane from the Daily Planet.
Do you want to start a video podcast?
Oh, that outfit's adorable! It's perfect! I think it's time to have some fun at Burger King. Excellent! Yeah, that sounds great. What are you watching?
Superman fighting Brainiac?
Could you turn it down?
Cool new Superman toys are now at Burger King. You can get one with every Kids Club meal.
Well, what have we here?
Whoa. Burger King Kids Club. Great food, cool stuff.
We're back on Superman Homepage Live. Interesting to see the Superman fighting Brainiac there in that Burger King ad. Quite relevant to the topic that we've been discussing tonight. And they were really great toys, those ones from Burger King. I remember them fondly. Sadly, Michael doesn't seem to be able to get back on at the moment, so we will push on without him, and we will jump into the fan favorite segment of our show. And Mark, you and I will just have to alternate through the responses that we have. So here we go. All right, last week's fan favorite question was, who is your favorite live action Perry White of all time? And we had a few people respond. I'll go first. It was Kara Laka who responded. I'll just get the images up in a second while I jump into the fan favorite. Okay, Kara said, my favorite Perry White is without hesitation Lane Smith. Every time I hear Perry White, I see Lane Smith. The way Smith portrayed Perry White was one of the strongest leadership by backing up his reporters and going to bat for them when the need arose. Rest in peace, Lane Smith. Great shades of Elvis. Coming in second for me would be Wendell Pierce, with Lawrence Fishburne in third. Thank you very much, Kara.
J.P. Rocha wrote, my favorite live-action Perry White is Wendell Pierce. It's just a cool portrayal, but what else would you expect from Bunk? Definitely the coolest Perry White yet.
Thank you, JP. There's a vote for our newest Perry White. All right, next up we had Lorenzo Hot Takes Valdez, who said, my favorite live-action Perry White is Lawrence Fishburne. I don't know why I don't have Lawrence Fishburne's image there for you. Sorry about that, Lorenzo. He precisely delivered on what I want from that character in every aspect in a way no other actor had up to that point. He is stern but still warm and compassionate. We see how much Fishburne's Perry cares about his staff. He holds Jenny's hand when she gets caught under the rubble during the Battle of Metropolis. Perry may insist that Lois fly coach earlier on, but when Lois asks for a helicopter and informs Perry that it isn't for a story, without hesitation Perry gets Lois a chopper right on the roof. Fishburne's Perry isn't an over-the-top screaming J. Jonah Jameson pastiche or an over-the-top incompetent goofy Elvis fan. Ooh, he comes off as a real intelligent, experienced newsroom reader. That being said, Fishburne still elicits laughs with his take, managing to more subtly provide some of the best humor in Batman v Superman, such as crime wave in Gotham, other breaking news, water, wet, or where does he go? Clicks his heels 3 times and goes back to Kansas, I suppose. Thank you, Lorenzo. Wow, big hot take there, especially the dig at the image we have on their screen of.
Well, just for that, keep Lane Smith up for the whole show.
Yeah,
just from what he said.
All right, next up.
Roy Seitz wrote, "My favorite Perry White is Lane Smith. I loved his portrayal of a more modern take on Perry, yet definitely keeping an old school feel. My only knock is that the network didn't let him have a cigar."
Thank you very much, Roy. Ryan Ignatius Pratt also wrote, while many talented actors have portrayed the Daily Planet editor-in-chief over the years, I must say that my favorite live-action Perry White is, without a doubt, the one and only Lane Smith. His image is the first I think of when someone mentions the name Perry White. And when reading a comic with Perry in it, it is Lane's voice that immediately comes to mind for the character. I especially loved how Lane's Perry could equally be the tough and gruff head of the Daily Planet, Daily Planet's bullpen, while simultaneously serving as a caring father figure to Lois, Clark, and Jimmy. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Alfie Falsatelli wrote, "Lane Smith was pitch perfect casting. He had probably the best lines in the show and perfect delivery. Some of his Elvis stories are gold. Jackie Cooper is also great in the role. It's a close tie, but Lane edges him out for the win."
Thank you, Alfie. Next up was Kirby Lindell, and Kirby said, "Great Caesar's Ghost. It's no surprise that I would pick John Hamilton as my favorite Perry White. He was close to perfect, and even though they said that he had a script on his desk, you could never tell. I loved his love-hate relationship with Jimmy, and the classic 'Don't call me Chief' nailed it with Jimmy. He really had a nose for news and expected his reporters to deliver and be accurate. He just exemplified the character." Well done, Kirby.
Yes. Celeste Sims wrote, "My favorite live action Perry White is played by Wendell Pierce from James Gunn's Superman. He is passionate, hardworking, and a leader of men. Wendell's performance was spot on and moving."
Thank you, Celeste. Last up, not about Perry White, but Plain Pulling Tom wrote, "Last Sunday was my birthday and my family got me a copy of Big Blue Superman Definitive History book, and I love it. I'm only disappointed unless I missed it, but my favorite cover is the 9/11 special where Superman and Krypto stare up at all the first responders and going, wow, it's not in there. If I missed it, please tell me what page. When the dust settles, let's have a topic about our favorite parts of the book." Thank you, Tom. Appreciate you letting us know it was your birthday. Happy birthday for last week. And that is a great gift from your family, a great book. So thank you for sharing that with us. So that was Plain Pulling Tom, and that was our fan favorite segment for the week. Thank you to everyone who responded to the Perry White topic. We appreciate all the responses we received. Our new fan favorite question for this week is, who is your favorite live action Pa Kent of all time? So jumping onto the Jonathan Kent side of things, send your emails to the email address on your screen right now, info@supermanhomepage.com. That's info@supermanhomepage.com, and let us know who your favorite live action Pa Kent of all time is. Before we move on, Mark, do you have a favorite Perry White?
Lane Smith, definitely.
Yeah? Cool. Yeah, mine would be John Hamilton. I love the 1950s TV series version of him, and the whole "Don't call me Chief," with Jimmy is just kind of set the tone for everybody else who came after him. Obviously, he wasn't the first live-action Perry White. We had one in the Kirk Allen serials before him, and obviously we had the radio series that kind of set that tone as well. But I just thought that John Hamilton's version kind of set the tone for everybody else that came after that.
Yeah, I mean, he and Jackie Cooper would probably tie for second for me. But,
very cool. All right, so that was the fan favorite question for this week. I'm hoping Michael will still jump back, so I haven't seen a message from him.
I saw one that he said
he's
that
saying that he's done
out
for the night. Okay.
Yeah, I thought you saw it.
I didn't see that because I've seen that now on the side. So we will push on without Michael for the time being, or for tonight's show. So look, he did have This Week in History set up, but I don't have all the details, all the information that goes with it. But we'll flick through the covers and have a look at them. So here is This Week in History.
Come with me now, my son, as we break through the bars of your earthly confinement, traveling through time and space.
All right, so This Week in History without the notes, but just looking at the covers, and I kind of remember little bits and pieces from what Michael sent me. We, I think, start back in 1945 with Action Comics number 90, where we see Superman ripping open a submarine there with the villains inside. And interesting that we've actually got the word rip to indicate that he's ripped it open on the cover there.
Yeah.
So, and I
We
think
wouldn't
we next jump, I think, to 1965. There was nothing in 55 from memory. And we have Justice League of America number 40 and the Indestructible Creatures of Nightmare Island. So we see the Justice League teaming up there. I think the same year, because it looks like we're jumping 1,000 years into the future. We have Superman number 181, where introducing the future Superman of 2965. You won't believe your eyes. He's so different from the original Superman of Krypton. He looks pretty similar there, but maybe that's Superman just jumping through.
He looks the same. I don't know.
Yeah, interesting there that on the cover you've got Superman 2, Superman 3, Superman 4, which kind of makes you think of the movies. But it's, they're obviously, because they use the Roman numerals, but they're talking about the different Superman through the years. We also have Superboy starring the Legion of Superheroes. That was number 213, and The Jaws of Fear. We then look at Superman number 294, and this is a very cool cover. He's the last man on Earth. So, very evocative image there. We then jump forward. This looks like 1995, where we have Superboy number 21. He's still wearing the jacket and the sunnies and the tight red pants. So that's Superboy there. We also have that same year Superman, Man of Steel number 50. I remember this cover quite well. And Superman, it's taking the whole Superman in chains theme to a completely out of this world take with so many chains there. Yes, huge. All right, then we jump through to, I believe this is 2005 with Action Comics 831 as part of the Villains United saga there with Superman and Black Adam on the cover. Also that same year we had Majestic number 9, and we had Bizarro number 4. I think this is in 2015. Bizarro number 4. This was a great series. I love the artwork in this. That same week, we had Doomed number 4 with The Wrath of Wonder Girl. We also had that same week Injustice Gods Among Us Gods Among Us 4 number 10, year 4 number 10. And lastly, we had Superman Wonder Woman number 21 released in that same week in 2015. In the real world, and if I can grab these from our website, let me remind you of why we have these dates listed for this week. I believe in the real world, I'll grab my calendar. We had John Hamilton. Jackie Cooper. He was born on September 15th, on this very day, back in 1922. Jackie Cooper there. Then on, trying to think of, this is this is Tommy Bond. Tommy Bond was born on September 16th in 1926 in Dallas, Texas. He obviously played Jimmy Olsen in the Superman serial and Atom Man versus Superman. Also that same day, September 16th, Kurt Busiek, who wrote many Superman comic books, including Action Comics and Superman, was born in Boston, Massachusetts in 1960. September 16th, which is today for me, also happens to be my birthday. I was born
hey, Steve.
Thank you. In 1971. So thanks, mate. 54 today. So I know it's tomorrow for you guys, but September 16th is my birthday.
That's great.
Brian,
birthday.
Thank you very much. Brian Singer celebrates a birthday this week. He was born September 17th, 1965. He obviously directed Superman Returns. Roger Stern was also born on September 17th. He was a classic writer of many, many Superman comic books and novels. He was born in 1950. James Marsden, who played Richard White in Superman Returns, he was born September 18th in 1973 in Stillwater, Oklahoma. So we wish him a happy birthday for this week. And also on this week, September 19th, is the anniversary of the release of Adventures of Superman, the television series. It made its debut in 1952 on Chicago's WENR on September 19th, 1952, but it was filmed in 50 and 51, I believe. So there you have it. I think I don't have it listed, but actually, I don't have a graphic for it, but I'm just going to turn these graphics off. This week, September 19th, is also the anniversary of the very first episode of the predecessor to this show, Radio KAL, which was a audio version. The very first episode of Radio KAL with Michael and I aired on September 19th back in 2011. So 14 years ago, Michael and I started the precursor to Superman Homepage Live, and that was an audio show back in 2011. So I'm disappointed he's not with us at the moment, Michael, to talk about that. But 14 years ago, we started a version of this show.
Wow. And back in the day, I was on that too.
yeah, you would come on as a
not like this, but I'd call in quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
so yes, but thank you to everyone who's sending me birthday messages in the comments. Really appreciate that. I was over at my mother's this morning with my wife and my sisters and my brother and niece, and we cut a cake and they sang me happy birthday, and I've been receiving messages all day. My sister who's 4 years older than me, celebrates her birthday 2 days before, so we always cut a cake together pretty much at the same time. So yes, thank you for all the birthday well wishes, much appreciated. All right, that was this week in history. Let's jump into we've done that. Some of the collectible stuff that's happening in and around the world of Superman. Just grabbing some of the images here. We spoke about that. If you're a art collector, Sideshow Collectibles is taking pre-orders for the Superman Space Age fine art print by artist Dave Johnson. This was originally a variant cover for Superman Space Age number 2 back in 2022, which was written by Mark Russell for DC. And this retro Superman art is now available for fans to purchase either as an unframed Guy Clee print or in a custom framed presentation. There are only 175 pieces, so it's a limited edition. You can get it for as low as $85 US. So there is the Superman Space Age fine art print. You'll find the link for that at the Superman homepage. And again, it's a affiliate link, so if you do purchase it or want to purchase it, use the link available at our website. We get a kickback at no extra cost to you, and that's a great way to support the Superman homepage. So that's a really nice retro-looking Superman Space Age fine art print.
Yes.
All right. Speaking of things happening locally for me, this weekend I will be presenting a Superman panel at Oz Comic Con in Sydney. So it is taking place in Homebush here in Sydney. So if you're heading to Oz Comic Con, and I know Justin Suarez usually heads to some of these conventions. He's in one of our regular listeners who lives here locally. I'll be presenting a Superman panel titled The Best of Superman 1938 to Today. It will span the almost 90-year history of Superman from 1938 to today. It's a 45-minute presentation. I'll take you through decade by decade, looking at Superman's evolution from Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster's original creation in 1938, right through to David Corenswet's latest big screen interpretation. We'll look at the golden age of radio with Bud Collyer, George Reeves' iconic TV series, the Fleischer cartoons, the Christopher Reeve cinematic legacy, the death of Superman in the comic books, modern interpretations from Smallville to Henry Cavill, and then obviously James Gunn's new Superman film, and what we can expect looking forward beyond that. So yeah, the Best of Superman 1938 to today will take place on Sunday, September 21st at 4 p.m. here in Oz Comic Con in Sydney. So if you are going to be attending, make sure you come up and say hello and check out that presentation. I've submitted my presentation, the slideshow, the PowerPoint file. It's with them, and I'll have hopefully a lapel mic, or a headset mic, so that I can use the clicker and forward my way through the presentation. And it will be all included there. 45 minutes, trying to cover 90 years of history. So it's a bit of an undertaking, but I'm looking forward to doing it and hoping that lots of people will show up and enjoy it.
Well, is there going to be a video on it, or
it's going to be it's going to be a slideshow that will include audio, video, visuals.
Okay.
So when we talk about the Fleischer cartoons, I'll be using a video of the introduction that is so well known and so iconic. When I'm talking about the radio series, I'll play an audio clip of Bud Collyer using both his Clark Kent and Superman voice at the same time in one sequence where he's in the dark and they can't see him, and so he's using both voices at the same time in a mesmerizing way of doing it. When we get to the Christopher Reeve movies, I'll play the trailer for that, and when we get to Man of Steel and the new Superman film, I'll play video clips from that as well. So there'll be different audio-visual elements to the 45-minute panel. It won't just be me talking nonstop. There'll be visuals and a slideshow and everything to go along with that. So yeah, if you're there at Oz Comic Con this Sunday, make sure you come by at 4 p.m.
Very good. I'm not going to be there. It's a little too far away. Far drive. I'm sorry, Steve.
Yeah, unless you got like a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang or something that can get across the water, then you're going to struggle to drive to Sydney. But so that's happening this Sunday. And plenty of great conventions are taking place in and around different places around the world at the moment. So make sure you check out our weekly updates on all the conventions. Somebody asked earlier about if anyone was at the Smallville. There was a tribute to Smallville or something like that took place this past weekend, where a lot of the cast members from the Smallville TV series, Tom Welling, Erica Durant, Michael Rosenbaum, Kristen Krug, and many others were in attendance. And I haven't seen a video of that yet. I will, if I do find one posted online, I will let you know and put it on the Superman homepage. But that seems like one of the largest collection of some of the Smallville cast members gathered together recently this past weekend.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, so again, that's what we do each week. We put up the convention listings of Superman celebrities in attending different conventions around the US and around the world, indeed. So make sure you check those out on a weekly basis. We put that up on a Saturday. Definitely plenty of conventions out and about there coming up. It was JP Rocha earlier in the chat who asked if anyone attended the Smallville Con this past weekend. Wanted to put up a hand, but I'm not sure if... she said, there's a con for Smallville. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. So yes, some of the actors were there, and they do plenty of convention appearances, especially Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling. They get out and about and they do Smallville nights where they have dinners and things as well with fans. So there's definitely plenty of opportunities. JP Roach said he was at the Smallville Con, but has no audio or pictures, just the badge to show for it. So that's cool, JP. I hope you had a great time, but I will look out to see if anyone did video the Smallville Con panel that took place and post it on the Superman homepage if it is available for watching. Mark, is there anything you want to touch on from this past week that caught your eye that you want to discuss before we wrap up tonight's show?
Nothing. Nothing particular. Just you finally got my Action Comics review, and I just want to say that I'm really enjoying the new Superboy Superboy saga or whatever you want to call it. Mark Waid's really doing a great thing with creating this new version of Superboy. So that's a lot of fun. If you're not reading it, please read it. It's a great story.
Yeah, I saw somebody saying, that they prefer the version of Superman where he wasn't Superboy as a young man in Smallville, but are happy for people who are enjoying that Mark Waid's new take on that of Clark actually being Superboy during his youth. Where do you sit? I mean, I know you're enjoying the stories in the comic books at the moment in Action Comics, but where do you sit when in regards to, should Superman have been Superboy in his youth, or do you prefer him to be, have matured into the role of Superman without being Superboy?
It's really hard to say because when I started reading in the Bronze Age, and obviously you had Superboy and Superman separate books. So most of the time they did team up a couple of times. So I enjoyed that. Well, once they got into the post-crisis though, and they took that away, I mean, it kind of made sense, and you really got used to the fact that he was just not Superboy. And then I think it was after Infinite Crisis, Jeff Johns started teasing that he was Superboy, and he was like an urban myth or something, but he was Superboy. But it was just not something, they didn't play it up that much. They did a little bit, but not too much. And of course, once the New 52 hit, it definitely wasn't Superboy. So again, they started playing around with it, and finally, I guess they decided, well, we're going to bring him back, and that he did start a Superboy, and at least they're having Mark Waid come in and write it. I mean, it's hard for me to say which I really prefer. I suppose after all the years with the post-crisis, I prefer maybe without having Superboy, but this new version is pretty cool. So we'll see where they take it from here.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying the stories. I do prefer not having Superboy as part of Superman's history, like that he grew up and then decided, as an adult to take on the role. I'm sure he probably still would have helped people younger if his powers allowed him to, but taking on the identity of Superboy seems a little, I don't know, funny to me. But I prefer, the John Byrne version of the story. But I still love the stories that Mark Waid is telling, and I'm still very much enjoying Action Comics at the moment. So I guess both are valid. All right, we are at the end of tonight's show. Before we do wrap up, apologies for Michael Bailey having to ditch on us early. His internet was playing up, as you know, but I'm glad, Mark, you were able to rejoin us again this week, and thank you so much for your input tonight. So thank you, Mark.
Yes, well, thank you.
All right, well, tonight we want to thank everyone for tuning in to Superman Homepage Live. Thanks for being with us for this past hour. A big thank you to Michael Bailey, who had to leave early, as I said. A huge thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, Tina Murray, Rick Schutzau, and Jamie Klingensmith. If you want to sponsor the Superman Homepage, please head to patreon.com/Superman Homepage. There are different levels of membership with different levels of perks. The complete 1 hour video of tonight's show will remain up on the Superman Homepage website and on our YouTube channel if you'd like to watch it back, or perhaps you missed part of the show and want to catch the parts you missed out on. But we'll be back next week on Monday, September 22nd at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time for another edition of Superman Homepage Live. We look forward to talking with you then. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. I'm Steve Eunice. On behalf of myself, Mark Lax, Michael Bailey, thanks for watching Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com. Good night.